Hey, Callie with Hogalicious here, and I'm going to show you guys how I prep the mice the night before for feeding the next day. So I've got my paper, and I write on it each time. I could print these out in advance. I do not, with everybody's names on it, just because sometimes someone's in blue, sometimes someone didn't want to eat one day and they'll eat the next day. So I do it each individual time, and I just kind of scribble it on scrap paper. So tomorrow we have 9 feeding that will eat peach size, 6 fuzzies, and 3 smalls. So I list all their names out. They're in order by weight, which is typically about how their bins are in the rack as well. So the first ones I've got here are the peaches. So when I'm in the freezer, I get the big bag like this size from Rodent Pro, and then I don't want to pull this whole big bag out of the freezer every time I'm filling these. So I put them into smaller sized bins. So I've got a little one for peaches. I've got some smalls here. And so the first thing that I did is I don't want to put them in the same baggie when they're about the same size. I find if you put like pinkies and peaches in the same bag, they're a little bit hard to see what size they are. But first I put 9 peaches on. I do wear one glove. I just don't want to transfer anything that might be on my hands onto them. And then the next one I'll pull out. I've got 3 smalls, which is the size my adults are eating once they're about 100 grams or close to it, say at least 80 grams. They usually are up onto a small mouse. So there's 3 of those. And then the fuzzy size, sometimes they're hairless, sometimes they're fuzzy. I had a couple who were a little bit picky the first time they had to go to a fuzzy with hair on it. 2, 3, 4. But after that, they got used to it pretty quick. So sometimes I'll just kind of play with it. Fuzzy size also seems to have a pretty big variance. So it goes from a peach, which is between a pinky and a fuzzy, which peach is really nice. That's one of the main reasons I got from Rodent Pro, is I can get that peach size. So that size is here. I'll kind of do it in the bag so you guys don't have to see. Then the fuzzies are just the next size up. Going from a fuzzy to a small is a pretty big jump. I need to see if I can find something that's more consistent between those 2 sizes. But it's supposed to be, that's supposed to be the size up. They just don't have any overlap of weight. So I tend to find that's kind of how that works. So I'm going to go ahead and fold all these 3 bags that'll go into the freezer back up. My 2 bags that I've got here go into the fridge. So I put them up here so that they will be defrosted in the morning, and then I will warm them up in a glass of warm water. I put water in a mug, and then I fill the mug up. I heat the mug about 40-45 seconds in the microwave, and I will also show you I'm going to show you my whole freezer pretty small. Where I keep the mice are on the top shelf across the top here that slides out. So this turkey for the dog food. But I put ice packs over the top of all the mice. So underneath all of these ice packs is where all the mice are located, and that just gives me an extra barrier when the freezer is opened and closed. It also keeps all the mice out of the way because my son doesn't want to see them. So they're on the top shelf, so it doesn't come out every time that you open the freezer. So that's where I keep them. And yeah, we'll jump back on tomorrow when it comes time to feed. For the next part on the feeding, I now have the mice that we got out last night, and they are in these mugs of warm water. You want to make sure the water is just warm. You don't want it to cook the raw mice. You still want them to be raw. They are there now. So I'm going to take my vitamins. The first one I have is calcium. I'm going to take just a little bit of that, sprinkle it in the first bag, and a little bit, and sprinkle it into the second bag. And then the next one is a multivitamin. It's the Reptivite, and I will add a better picture of what these ones are, and I sprinkle those in as well. And let's close those up in case The cats jump on my desk. Okay, so these ones, I'm gonna kind of move them around, make sure I get that vitamins on everything. And these ones here, now they've been in the mugs for maybe 5 minutes or so. So they should have made it nice and warm. They feel room temperature-ish. You don't want them too hot, too cold. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with feeding a few of them. I see Mocha and Hazelnut are already out. So we will feed them first. Everyone has now sized up to Peaches, but they just recently sized up to Peaches. So I'm gonna try and find a pretty small one out of here. The tongs I use, I go ahead and I put them in the dishwasher. And so there's Mr. Hazelnut. And he always loves breastfeeding time. Our buddy. Oh, a little open mouth. Oh, a little crazy. You got it. There you go. Up and he dropped it into the water dish. So I usually will change out their water dishes after they eat while they're digesting. Part of that is also because they often will drag their mouths through their water dish, and that's gross because it's raw meat. Okay, Mocha is not always immediately on it. So I also wanted to show you guys, some people show feeding videos where it's only, where they're like super interested. Oh, she did a good job. Okay, good girl. And so once she's got it into her mouth a bit, I'll set it down and let her go for it. We got honey and almond. One of these two will be next. And I see almond is out. She's in there. Let me get hers. Get it? There we go. Good girl. You got it? You got it? You got it? Good. Actually, I'll focus on that better. Okay, good girl. Now you are out and you are ready as well. Let's get one for you. She can be a little bit crazy sometimes. We'll see. I'm just slowly lowering it down to her. I don't usually dangle it. Oh, there she goes. So she tacoed it. So in the wild, when they eat frogs and things like that, they will sneak up on their prey. And they don't want to go to it from the face, and they don't want to go from the back because the frog is going to jump. So they will often attack it from the side. So it's natural for them to want to taco their food. Okay, and then next I'm going to show you Chai on the video. So she gets a big one. She just had what I propose is a pre-lay shed. She was not brumated. But so far, timing of locking and all of that and weight gain is pretty on par with assuming that what she just did yesterday was her pre-lay shed. So let's go ahead and focus in on you. And she's a beast. So she always takes it good there. Good girl. Okay. Oh, next thing I want to show you is how to size these. So this is bubble gum, and this is his food. So if you look at it, the food is about, it's kind of hard to tell, it's about the same size around that he is in the whitest spot. So that's a good way to judge the right size of food. It's not bigger than his head, so it's going to fit down his throat, even though their faces expand quite a bit for this. And then it's about the same size around as the widest part of his body. So that's a really good way to look at it. If you've got a baby and you're wanting to go down to the store or you're going to the reptile show to see what size mice you have, I'll look at my finger. I'll be like, oh, she's as big around as my index finger or as big around as my thumb. And that's a pretty good way to judge when you go to pick out their food and see what size they're needing to eat. So Bubblegum's doing a great job. Next up, I'm going to show you feeding one that doesn't like the tongs, but still wants to see it. So when I show him the mouse on the tongs, watch him take it off the tongs for the first time ever. It'll be funny. Thinking about it, so I'm just going to hold it there slowly. Slowly opening his mouth. Going in. Good. So he has toilet paper tubes back here because normally I put his meal into the toilet paper tube. It's not in very far yet. So I'm going to hold it for just a second, let him get it in a little further before I drop it. Make sure he's got a good hold on there. There you go. Good boy. So patience is nice. Just take your time with it, and there he goes. Good boy, Rocky Road. So this is Snickerdoodle, and he does not like it off of here either. So you see he's getting pretty mad, and he's running away from it. So I'm not going to pester him with it. I know he doesn't want to take it off the tongs. So I'm going to put it back here in the toilet paper tube. I know, I'm sorry. Wow, you lunged at the camera. I'm going to put it back there in the toilet paper tube and just leave it with him. And he will come get it. And I'm going to change your water bowl now because I see you pooped on the side of your water bowl. You did, Snickerdoodle. Okay. So I'm just going to leave that in there for him. I will leave it in and check it every, I don't know. Some of them I leave it in. Maple. She is not a people person. I'll put hers in the tube and she will come out immediately and get it. Hibiscus in here chowing down on hers. But with Snickerdoodle, it can take him a few hours. It can take him overnight. Sometimes he'll go overnight with it. So you can leave it in up to, I don't know, if you have to leave it in up to 48 hours, you want to leave it in overnight. They like that. For certain ones, they're not going to eat it if it's rotten. They're smarter than that. She's all curled up on there. And yeah, they'll come get it. If they don't come get it after a certain amount of time, then take it out and throw it out, since you don't want to risk it. Ubi does not get fed today. And Ubi's not real happy about not getting fed today because she just got fed 2 days ago. And so she's been watching me feed everybody else. Cookies and Cream got fed today, though. I see you got your food down. Good boy.